Hey, welcome. We are going to play some poker because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, even though my name is Dan Fradenburgh. I'm joined today with the founder of Equity Capital, Joe Cook. How you doing today, Joe?
Great, thanks, Dan.
Excellent, excellent. And we do regular webinars, especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So make sure you follow us on LinkedIn to find out more on that. Jennifer Steward, Jen, we go back and forth a little bit on Facebook. You want to introduce yourself a little bit while we get this game started here?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jennifer Steward, and I find and fund deals. That's what I specialize in.
All right, awesome. And Ryan Yates, he's a fractional CFO. Ryan, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. My name is Ryan Yates. I am currently the VP of Finance and Compliance at Veloce Capital. I have my own consulting firm, Cardinal Financial Consulting, and among the beard, and do a lot of other things. But
Excellent, excellent. All right, so I'm going to hit start the
You're a
game now.
bear hunter. On the side, you're a bear hunter.
Exactly, bear hunter. All right, cool. So we had the blinds with 8 minutes. I just hit start, so it looks like Ryan, you have the chance to. Oh, okay, he folded already. So Jen, hopefully you can. Okay, so Joe didn't like his hand either. He folded as well. I'm not going to do a play-by-play on everything here, but yeah, to stay in, you gotta bet, or you can check or fold. There you go. Okay, I'm going to check. There is an activate extra time button here, but okay, so it looks like I'm first here, right? So what am I gonna? Oh, okay, no, so it was Jen. Okay, next I'll bet. Lots of fun. So I guess Ryan, since you folded a little bit, you want to talk a little bit about your poker experience, or where you focus a little bit?
poker experience goes back a ways. Being what am I, 43 now? If you look back, you'll see that I grew up during that golden age of poker. Chris Moneymaker, everyone online. Played a little bit in college, played a little bit when I got out, then had kids and took a little bit off. Play every now and then.
I
So
see.
when you played in the golden age, I'll jump in. When you played in the golden age, did you play just online or did you play live as well?
I played not really live. I mean, I'm in New Jersey, so I always had Atlantic City just down the road, but
Sure.
mostly online. I was away at college in Massachusetts before, all the rules about where you are comes in. Right before it shut down, I played a lot, and then once it went dry, there, I kind of not gave up, but had to focus on a career a little bit.
Yep. Well, and family makes a big difference.
Mhm.
She had the ace kicker. So Jen's cleaning me out already. Oh my goodness.
I played once on a boat on a sailing cruise. It was a small catamaran in 2005 in the let's see here. So you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. Yeah, we played for matchsticks in the middle of the Caribbean Ocean, way before social media, and back whenever people connected face to face, and that was your only option. And yeah, no cell phone service, just out on a catamaran between those small islands there in the Caribbean, with a cook and a captain and four of my buddies, and that was it. Just the six of us playing poker by night. Maybe a lot of that Caribbean rum, which was good stuff, and very loud Hungarian techno on the speakers with one of my female friends from Hungary was there.
Yeah, well, that'd be a blast.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
It's hot there, huh?
Okay, Dan, if you don't have a heart, fold.
Yeah, I know. It's Sam's arrived here too. Okay, here we go. Excellent, excellent. So we'll have to deal him in on the next one. But here comes Sam. Sam, we're already live and recording. Sam Sells. Do you want to introduce yourself while we're doing the
Hey everybody, I'm late. Nice to meet you
Hey,
guys.
Sam.
It happens. It happens. I think we might be able to add you still anyway. I just put the link in the chat, so you can try and just hit sit in one of the chairs, and then it should work. The stack is 10,000. I'll try to I'll try to deal you in, but Sam, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, apologies for being late. So glad to be here. I am Sam Sells and Principal Managing Director, partner of Impact Growth Capital. We are a social impact investment company, mostly focused on affordable housing, build, develop, redevelop, act rehab, opportunistic mobile home parks, apartment complexes. We like to help people and make money. So I like both those
Excellent,
things.
excellent.
Awesome.
Well, the big thing here is that we're playing with fake internet points. So there's no money to be made here on this particular game. I've been losing money so far, but that's all right. The game is still young, right?
So Sam, when you hit seat, did it let you put in your name and points?
I'm looking for that now. I just joined, signed up, trying to hit where does the seat button at?
Yeah, it's around the table. There's
Oh, there we go. I don't want to
Kind
sit
of
there. I'll have
faded.
to- Gotcha.
yeah. So I wonder if I can activate extra time here.
Intended stack. Is that 10,000?
Yeah, it's 10,000. Yeah, it looks like this hand's already starting, so you'll be in the next hand after
It's
this.
okay if I add an extra 0 in there, correct?
No.
Or-
I can actually fix that myself. Yeah, that's right. Approve on next hand. Okay, cool. All right. This is so efficient. So for everybody in the audience who knows me from my YouTube channel or from LinkedIn, you may know my show Chess with Investors. I was telling everybody here beforehand that one of the ideas that came up with some of my friends is like, they said, Dan, why are you always playing these hard games like chess and poker? And they were suggesting Go Fish or Uno. And I like the idea of paper, scissors, stone with investors. I don't know if how that would work, if that'd be a great one here, but I guess
There's
the other
got to
thing,
be one online that lets you do that.
yeah, I suppose and I know that they have other they have other types of paper, scissors, stone where it's not just paper, scissor, and stone, but yeah, lots of fun. So I guess let's go to Joe. You haven't had a chance to really relate much about yourself. You want to share a little bit about your poker history or about business?
Well, my poker history will give it away. So I'll talk about business first, and we'll see where this goes. In business, I tried to retire. I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur. I didn't like retirement, so I came back in to do a private lender, and Dan's been helping me with that for quite a while now. And my background is lending to fix and flippers and those kinds of things. And we're raising a fund to do that. And I just love business. I've owned a number. I'm old, so I get to say I've owned a number of companies and done a number of real estate projects.
And are you eager to join on paper, scissors, stone with investors there,
No,
Joe?
I really do like poker, and I play poker pretty serious. I think that's why you picked the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I'll lay my cards on the table, so to speak, here, which is that I think that it's so difficult for everybody to, like, when you do podcasts, you get lots of people who say, oh, you need to be vulnerable, you need to like really share a lot about yourself, get that humanity out there. And I think it's kind of difficult, even if you are going to be telling the story about when you were 8 years old and you had your bike stolen or something like that. It's really tough to show your humanity, and there are very few things that show your humanity, like when you get angry when somebody wins all your chips or kleptos all your chess pieces or something like that. So that's why I think it's a fun little idea here.
So I will set a range. Jennifer says so. Look, Jennifer says she doesn't know how to play and she's winning. I've coached Dan. Dan thinks he knows how to play, and he's short stack.
Yeah.
I've been kind of laying in the weeds. I do play poker pretty serious. I love the World Series. I actually played Saturday with a social group that I play here, so I play all the time. Nice hand, Ryan.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely had the cards. Holy smokes! Yeah, and my actual main poker experience is just through computer games, playing against bots. Because there are a couple things going through my head as far as why we're not using actual money here. One is because sometimes the internet has some restrictions as far as promotion of gambling and that sort of thing. So I don't want to give that idea out there. But out in Taiwan, one of my favorite games was mahjong with the tiles, has all those different pieces in there. And what I realized was that I don't like taking money from my friends, and I also don't really want to give my money to my friends either. So fake internet points fits me just perfectly. And of course, I also have a background in engineering, so probability is pretty basic math at the end of the day. So that's where I come from. But Sam, so you didn't get a chance to give your background as far as poker goes. Where'd you learn? Is it something that you really tend to enjoy?
Last time I played poker was probably on a deployment in 2012 in Afghanistan, probably playing. But I suck at poker. So is there a more appropriate way to say that?
Yeah, that sucks not that bad. That's not even the S word. So that's better. Now I'm back in the game, I think. All right, good. So that's lots of fun. So it's and so Sam, I guess we'll start with you. You're ex-military. I really enjoyed finding out about the medical side of what you do, because I always find that inspirational when people do focus on that side of conflict and whatnot. But my question for you, Sam, is what are you like when you're angry?
Well, that is a long way to that question.
Well, I am a little bit distracted, right? I got to try and get all these chips back that I'm just bleeding.
I don't get angry a ton. Yeah. Probably get snarky.
Snarky. Interesting. Ryan, yeah, I think you're probably the cuddliest looking of the bunch of us. How about you? What are you like when you're angry?
I usually, unless you're my 11-year-old son, I'm usually not angry. I keep it pretty easy. Listen, I'm in finance and accounting. We're not saving lives, so I'm pretty chill most of the time. Just that's it.
I hear you.
Yeah, sons can do that to you. My son, who used to be 11, and I used to get angry over, he turns 50 this year. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was going to say you're about 55 myself, but
That's truly awesome, Joe.
Yeah, my grandsons turn 18. One turns 18 this Friday. The other turns 18 here in about a month, and we're lucky to live close to them. So
what a blessing. That's wonderful.
Oh, it is. It's been tremendous. But I would agree with Ryan. The young men in their teens, they tend to challenge you.
Yeah, I can see.
That's funny.
I really thought you had the ace on that last one. I was going to pay you off on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I bet, but I didn't bet enough, right?
Yeah, it was a little low.
Yeah, well, I can't figure out the buttons as part of it. So
the first two hands I had a real tough time. I had a pair of fours that I went to play with, and it auto folded me because I didn't take quick enough to raise. So, I mean, I won by folding, but
well, we've been trying to figure out the timing on this. If there's plenty of timing, we could play another one a little faster, but after everybody kind of gets the feel of it. But
right,
Jennifer might want to do that. She might want to just end on a high note. Well, her and Ryan are pretty close.
Well, just to be fun, I got to keep, got to stay in play, right?
I should have played this hand. I had 8-4 offsuit, so you'd never saw it. None of you has ever seen it.
I mean, my current hand isn't going to blow anyone's hair back, but I figured it's been a while since I checked. So
We can also just turn over the hands if we don't go clear to showdown to the last hand with 2 people in it.
yeah, I got to fold on this hand. It sucks.
Dan
I was
got
about
away
to
with
say
one.
no comment because I knew that I'd just win the pot. But I was actually going to mention though when it comes to anger, chess is 100% one of my buttons, and that's one of the reasons why I've taken it so seriously. I don't know why. Like I tend to be pretty chill when it comes to problems coming up. If there's something that we have to deal with, I'm not the, oh well, let's freak out and find someone's head to roll. I'm more of the, it's like, okay, well, the situation sucks, but we really need to find out what we're going to do to fix it up. But with chess, I get angry at myself. I just feel, like I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's when I'm playing bullet chess, I am not fun to be around. It's really not so good.
That's a true statement.
Poker, they call it tilt.
Yeah. They use that in chess as well, but it's really when you just can't make a good decision every single time you do anything. It just blows up in your face. They call that tilt, and but now of course they've got the data to back it up. So basically you can find out, it's like, are you just playing poorly or did your opponent have a good day? And it's really interesting because so many people are superstitious, and the question is like, well, what is it? Is it fate? Do we have free will? So I think that's a good conversation to kick up. Jen, where are you on the free will versus determinism debate?
Well, I think that sometimes, God throws stuff in our path because he wants us to go a certain way that we don't know how to go to. Like, for example, I hiked all around the West. I hiked about, God knows, maybe 200 miles last year in remote places, California, mountains. I don't know if you've been to California, but most of it's really remote, really rugged, really beautiful. Nevada, Oregon, Arizona. And I did not twist my ankle, but I stepped off of a 2-inch platform. Um, stepped off of a 2-inch platform and and had a grade 3
I'll get her
sprain.
while she's talking.
Yeah,
Uh-oh,
right.
maybe
Apparently.
she's gonna get me.
And did a grade. How? How did that just happen?
Oh
How did that happen? I don't even know what happened, guys.
no!
30%.
He's got 3 of a kind right now. And,
You're behind 30%.
oh my goodness!
I got you with my little dinky 4s.
Wow.
See the 4s?
How? What did I do? See, I
Yeah,
don't know
you
what
went
I'm
you
doing,
went
guys.
all in. You with
It's
your
like-
with your pair of aces. Like it was a decent enough call, but Joe got really lucky there.
Oh, well,
but
see,
good thing your stack
at
was
some
bigger
point,
though.
I'll have to know like what happened because I seriously have no
So
idea.
Dan, so we've got the recording, Dan. Did it
Yep.
show, did everybody see all the cards?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
once
can
you
show
call
you,
them-
Jen. I don't know if it re-recorded.
Yeah. You basically had what seemed to be an unstoppable hand with a pair of aces, but Joe was lucky enough to have a 4 in the community cards that are in the middle. So that meant he
okay.
had 3 of a kind.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I forgot about that rule.
So,
I
so how do
wasn't
you
even
get
paying
the
attention to
algorithm?
the cards. I was just talking. But anyways, the point is that sometimes I do think we have free will, but I think God will throw a black swan event into our lives, like not being able to walk for 8 weeks, like what I'm dealing with right now. So you have a captive audience. And yeah, so what does God want from me to where I step off of a 2-inch platform and I have a grade 3 sprain, right? So that's never happened in my life. So yeah, I think we have free will, but then I think, like I said, God will throw determinism in our path. You know what I mean? So
Interesting. Interesting. So let's
Because
go on to
why would I twist my ankle stepping off a 2-inch platform and not be able to walk for 8 weeks whenever I just got done hiking, all over the West? So that just doesn't make sense.
yeah, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Sam, what do you think about free will and determinism?
Think we are free to choose our lives and where we want to be. I think things, there will always be challenges like those 2-inch lift. And it's we get to decide how we respond to those things. If you don't have, if you don't have trials, um, then if you don't have trials, then we're not made stronger or not made better. But we can make a lot of really stupid choices and have a lot of terrible trials because we're idiots. And so um, I think there's a healthy mix of divine will in life and our own will in life. And I think it's pretty rare, if ever, that our will is supplanted.
I like that answer. So, do you think that it's a mix between, like there are some things that we can decide on our own and some things that we can't, or do you think is it like it sounds like I understand that you're saying that we can be idiots sometimes, and what better example than in poker when we stay in on hands that we shouldn't. But
Yeah. So look, I cannot tell my body to stop growing facial hair. It grows. All
Yeah.
right. Like I don't have a choice about that. But what I do have a choice, I don't have a choice about how tall I am. I don't have a choice about whether the sun comes out tomorrow or not. But what I do have a choice is my actions, whether I shave or don't shave, whatever I do, like I have my own set of choices. There will always be things outside of our control.
great answer, Joe. What do you think?
Well, I would ask you to, because I'm really, really aligned with Sam and Sam's answers for the way I understand it. So I would have you define determinism, because if you're saying everything is set in stone down the road, no, I think because at minimum you have free will to make dumb choices or smarter choices. Then the caveat that I would add for me, with an umbrella around Sam's answer, is I do feel there's a divine being, and that um, a designer, and that there's a general plan inside that designer's plan. And so my free will might be inside a tube where I can bounce inside his whole plan, because his whole plan includes something. I might even include the sun rising, the moon staying where it is, us not being hit by an asteroid, all those things that are maybe not all, but most of those things that are not in my control.
It's a beautiful thing to think about, and it's I guess part of the reason why I put it all into the equation, like when it comes to these games, is like I like to live in a world where if somebody is having a really bad day and I wind up playing chess against them, even though maybe I have more skill, maybe I have studied harder or something like that, it's just part of us, or something bigger than us makes that decision and says, you know what, you're going to make a really dumb decision, and the other person's going to get the W when they needed it most. Now, of course, maybe that's the romantic side of me, or it's more poetic than anything else, but I guess that's it. So Ryan, I don't think I got a chance to get your 2 cents on where you stand on that subject.
I think Sam and Joe, you guys have it pretty right on. I mean, I think TV messed us up. I mean, all these movies, all these other stuff, it makes you want to believe a lot of it. Like there is that fate to some extent, and I do believe to some extent there is fate, but I think we do make our own choices. I've seen it a lot of times. I talk about it all the time about where I grew up, and people being stuck versus, kind of getting up and moving on based on those small little decisions. And those small decisions are everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I regret my decision to fold.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Right? Oh my God. Yeah, I had 7-10. So, oh, what can you do? What can you do? All right. So I was really unsure as far as this subject goes about like how much conversation are we actually going to be able to have while we play here. For everybody in the stand who doesn't understand the screen that we're showing here, it looks like so Joe has over 11K, Jen is back over 10K. Sam is just shy of 7K. I'm shy of 12K, and Ryan's at 8K. We've had a lot of flip-flopping back and forth here, and
Yeah, Jen just pummeled me. You want to say flip-flop?
I remembered. I'm starting to kind of remember some things, but remember, I played one time 20 years ago, so the memory is a little dusty here at 40.
Well,
And I ran out of time
I don't
talking.
know what you had. I didn't see it, but you certainly used your chips as a weapon. You caused me to pause.
yeah, so there you go, right on. So Jen, outside of deep discussions on fate and determinism, I guess I should probably put my 2 cents on that as well, because like I like to point out when there's the opportunity that I most closely identify myself as a Buddhist, and on that conversation they would talk about conditioning. So we are conditioned by multiple different factors in the world, like for example, like if you got a cold or something like that, that is going to come into the equation and control you to some degree, but it's not going to be a 100% control thing. So I think that
Ryan,
yeah, go ahead, Joe.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was basically saying it's like, there are factors that contribute to a decision that you don't necessarily have control of, but I think that that's where the free will comes in. Like for example, like if you don't know that there's an activate extra time button, you're never going to use the activate extra time button.
True.
Yeah. But there you go. The other thing I like about playing online like this is that like since I actually have no intention of doing real gambling, I'm always aware when I'm on camera that it's like I'm revealing my tells, aren't I?
It's kind of hard to reveal your tells on camera because you're looking in two different directions, but so
Yeah.
because we have this separate conversation going, I'm staring at the screen of U5. I got the game on another screen, so
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I do too. I do too, Ryan.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, on that last one, like immediately after I did it, which is, why I mentioned it, is I was revealing the fact that I wasn't really pleased with what I saw. And then I realized, oh, wait a second, I'm not supposed to reveal the fact that I'm not really pleased with what I saw in the cards there.
Well, I
'Cause-
just learned the word tilt today in a meeting right before this, and I thought, wow, whenever you can't walk for 8 weeks, there's a lot of tilt, there's a lot of bleed over, because you want to be able to walk. I mean, just doing little things like bathing is really tough if you can't use your right leg. So just trying to keep that tilt at a minimum is like it's a spiritual exercise right now.
Yeah, that's definitely really tough. But let's talk real estate a little bit. So Jen, you want to go into some? You mentioned that you fund
Find and
deals.
fund.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you want to talk a little bit more about like buy box, whatever you didn't cover already while I was
Sure. So I've got
listening?
180 virtual assistants who help people talk to sellers, all that fun work that no one wants to do, which is talk to sellers over the phone. That's what we specialize in, whether it's lead management or lead gen via cold calling. And then I'm also a hard money lending broker as well. I have my license with EXP to build teams and refer deals to other realtors. So let's say, for example, you're doing a lot of lead gen and 9 out of 10 of them don't need to sell at a discount. 9 out of 10 of them want to sell with the realtor. Well, then why shouldn't we make money on that? So I refer those deals to people in my team. And then I also have a data and skip tracing company as well. So just saying that I both help find and fund deals is a shorthand for everything that someone can do to monetize whenever somebody wants to sell their house.
All single family?
Single family and commercial. So I just closed on a 25 unit property for 2.5 million. Let's see here. Closed on Monday. Wait, today's Monday. Excuse me. It's closed on Friday. So the days run together whenever you're bedbound. But yeah, so we close that on Friday. And so a commercial lending is my favorite thing that I do because it's the highest profit, lowest stress. Everything you do is high stress. Everything you do sucks. I mean, whether you're pushing a broom or whether you're doing commercial lending. And commercial lending is by far the most profitable thing that I do. So it's my favorite. And so, and I do pay half of a referral fee, which you're allowed to do because I don't do any type of lending on occupant buyers. And so I'm able to share my commissions legally. So yeah, so if you send me a commercial deal and we fund it, I will give you half. My last commercial commission was $32,000. And so I'd love to give you guys 16 grand if you start sending, commercial stuff my way. So
Yeah. What about bigger ones? Can you do 10, 20, 30 million
I'm
dollars
working
projects?
on that. So I'm trying to get in contact with a gentleman who was having me broker for, wanting me to broker for his company before, but I didn't really have a need because I didn't have big ones like that. But that is actually what I am working on, Sam, is making it so that I can do that. And yeah, I have to
For
find.
heaven's sakes, did I just want a hand? Sorry. I just want a hand, everybody. I just want
Yeah,
to point that
and,
out.
and cleared me out in the process. I was already out because Joe knew that I didn't have the cards on the previous one.
I don't know how I'm losing money just folding. That's a mystery to me.
Yeah,
The
those are the
blinds,
blinds. Yeah.
The blinds
okay.
keep coming around.
Yeah. So there we go. So how are we doing for time? I guess I could so Joe, what do you think? What do we want to do about further buy-ins?
You mean what? You mean do we want to let you back in? Well, I don't know
That is what
everybody's
I mean.
time,
Yes.
and we've already been at it like 45 minutes.
Yes, we have. You're right.
So we probably need to let it. We probably don't need to let you buy in because to stay, I don't want to go over an hour unless everybody knows for sure they can. And this is going to push. This is going to push everybody. You not buying in is going to let us kind of finish this out.
Yep, that works. Yeah, and Jen's all in just from the blind itself.
So we'll see if we can put pressure on Sam.
Hey, let's just play it. Let's just go all in.
Well, that must mean you have a queen.
Then let's go 500 in.
I think the minimum's 1,000.
So
Well, and I get to distract Joe a little bit too because Chase is bugging you apparently.
okay.
I think he told me in the outside. He said he's headed my way.
Yeah, he's not certain about your address, is what he messaged me.
Yeah, I gave it to him in the other chat.
Okay, great.
He's also. Do you know which phone number he's trying to do? I texted him on the 970 number, and I don't think it got to him.
Yeah, I know the business one goes to his cell, so.
Sam, I'm
Okay.
going to put my phone number in the chat. And anyone listening on a later recording or later listening, it's 469-952-8011 for the commercial loan deals.
Excellent. And so that's the best way to reach you. It's not a website or through Facebook or
No,
something
I'm
like
old
that. Jen?
school. Just call me.
All right.
That's great.
Excellent.
I've never had anyone abuse that. Like, Oh, go to my website or go to my email. No, no, no. Just call me. I'm gonna
Yeah,
answer.
things are so much more civilized now that you can block people, from your phone or whatever if they're.
I think people just realize I'm not someone you want to do that with somehow. They just intuit that.
Yeah, I think you seem like a person. You've got boundaries. You're nice, but you're not going to make it a secret of where they are. That's just my impression.
Yeah.
You know that I'm not the type of person to push boundaries. I don't spam people. I don't
Right.
message for. It's like, hey, I went to the park last weekend. Here's some nice photos of our lunch.
That's welcome too.
Yeah, so there you go.
So we should talk to Jen on the hard money side too.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I'm
But
happy to refer people because look, my rates aren't always the prettiest, not always the prettiest girl at the dance, and so I'm, very, very keen on collaboration.
excellent, excellent. But let's go around in a circle and make sure that everybody knows the best way to reach out since Jen opened that door. So Ryan, how about you? Is LinkedIn the best way to reach you? Or is there a website that's better? How should people in the audience reach out?
Yeah, I mean LinkedIn's probably the best. I hang out there as much as I can. I'll let you guys see it. I had the vote.
Yeah, I there was a little spidey sense that I didn't want to try to push him.
I mean, honestly, if Sam raised, I might have not played it, but he limped in, I limped in, we were good.
Yeah,
No,
for sure.
LinkedIn's the best way to reach me. I usually talk about all alternative assets. I've been alternative assets my whole career. Been focusing a little more on real estate for the past couple of years, but outside of that, that's not all I got. And I'm in the middle of the hand as I try to talk. So
Yeah. It's pretty tough, but this multitasking, which seems to be a common thread with the podcast series that I've been putting out. But Sam, if people want to reach out to you, what's the best way?
Yeah, great. So LinkedIn, Samuel Sells. You can find me on Instagram. I have a whole bunch of really ugly posts on Instagram for Impact Sam. Check me out or don't. You can reach me at my email, sam@impactgrowthcap.com. And my goodness, yeah, just check me out. We also launching next here in a week or two, every Wednesday. Find Fun Close method is live. It's free deals. And so we just analyze deals, big commercial deals, small commercial deals, and we just make a determination like, is this good or not good, whether you should go or not
Awesome.
go. So if you want to bring your deal to the table, we will analyze it right then on the call for free. And if it's a big enough deal that meets my specific buy box, then I will pay you a referral fee to send it my way, and as long as we close.
Excellent, excellent.
Awesome, Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Joe, we have a debt fund. Maybe we can talk about that for accredited investors. But as far as free stuff, again, like on LinkedIn, you can see our regular posts about the Thursday and Tuesday webinars. The Tuesday one is on preservation of capital. And that's a neat one to deep dive into, especially from a lender's perspective, finding out what is it that when you talk to a typical real estate coach or a syndicator, that sort of thing, what's the missing piece of the puzzle that they're leaving out for brevity. But Joe, what would you prefer to describe or explain to the audience as far as the best reasons to reach out, get connected on LinkedIn, and maybe set up an appointment or something like that?
Well, we are a private lender, and we raise capital from limited partners and lend it out to small commercial and residential rehabbers. And you can find me on ecfg.us website or LinkedIn,
Exactly.
or call Dan.
That's right. That's part of our job. I have to do this ridiculous stuff for the internet as part of what I do. But it's fantastic. This career I seem to be creating for myself of, hanging out with people and playing games while actually somehow making a living. That's it's not bad. it's a pretty sweet deal. It's if it, you know, some people might think that I'm actually, you know, premeditated and, you know, it's not just like a random sort of thing. But yeah, as far as fate and determinism goes, it's things are heading in the right direction. And now we get to see who has the heart.
Nothing. Who has the bigger nothing?
Oh,
We both
That's-
have nothing.
yeah.
I have a
that
bigger
was-
kicker.
Sam's got the full house.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
What'd he have?
He had a full house. He had a 10 and a 7.
Oh, he had the full house.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
terrible.
know how to play the game.
I should have bid like $1 million or something on that one.
Should at least raised minimum.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
all.
But there we go. So then I guess we'll also go on to what else you like to do for a good time. So Sam, you just put down your bid. So what else is a good time for Sam Sells?
What am I doing?
Yeah, what do you do for a good time? What other hobbies do you really enjoy?
So I really enjoy working on stuff. So we got a lot of stuff cooking. I really enjoy the creation process. I really enjoy doing what we need to do to just get better at stuff. I will say that I do like working with my hands, so I like building things. I like off-roading or expedition kind of stuff, overland stuff. That's been a lot of fun, and I used to do that way before it became super popular. Now people spend $100,000 on their trucks so that they can drive off on a gravel road, which seems a little bit silly, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
And the truck will do most things automatically for you.
Yes, with street tires. But I can't help myself either. So
Yikes. Yikes. I actually heard that I was reading an article today about how they're going to have a 4th traffic light installed.
No way.
And it's for automated vehicles. They say it's going to be a white light, and when it's on, it means you can continue to do whatever the car in front of you is doing. So the idea is, like, if the car in front of you is slowing down, then you should slow down, I guess. And if it's still humming along, then you can do that. It's basically to tell us human drivers what the intention of the automated vehicles are going to do. I thought that was an interesting. Yeah, I'm still getting my head around it. We'll find out if it's fake news or not. But Jen, as far as you go, so like, even though you managed to stay in the game longer than I did after not playing for 20 years, what's your idea of a good time, Jen?
I love hiking in the West. It's a lawless place out there. There's no 911, no cell phones. I don't know if you guys do much road tripping, but it's still we still live in a very, very wild country with like 90% of it still wild land, at least out west. And cities are an anomaly, not the rule. But whenever you live in a city, you feel like that's the way the world is, and it isn't. So when you talk about him being a bear hunter, we saw a lot of bears, and whenever we go on our hikes, you have to carry. My husband carries a Mossberg Shockwave, and I always have a 38 on me, and we always have a lot of food. And I don't do high heels; I do hiking boots, and but that's why this ankle is particularly rough, because it's like my favorite thing to do. I'm not able to do it, but it allows me to work. So hiking in remote places, beautiful places. That's why I work, so that I have that equity position to have the freedom. My kids homeschool, and we just spend, a good half the year on the road, going from truck stop to truck stop till we get to beautiful places, and then we stay in cabins and just enjoy nature as I feel like God intended. I don't believe we were meant to live in cities. I think it's why we have autoimmune and all this and cancer and all this other stuff. And I just think that we're meant to be out there and not here in the city, doing the grind. I don't think that's what we evolved to do. So that's what we do.
Yeah, well, I'll try not to take that personal since I'm from the internet, but
I'm really good at going all in against aces.
That's funny. Yeah, apparently, holy smokes. But yeah, that's That's intimidating. Oh, and there it goes. Okay, so welcome to the club of the peanut gallery. You're in good company. But yeah, so I guess I mentioned the internet part because I don't get to meet many of the people I work with in person. I've met Joe in person, which is fantastic. But Jen, like I know you through Facebook. You were talking about high heels. You seem to me in the photos like you're fairly tall, aren't you though?
Yeah, I mean, for when I was born, yes. So I was born in 1984, and reaching 5'7" at age 12 when you're born in 1984 was considered tall at the time. But the generations that have come behind me, I don't feel like that's as considered tall as it was in 1984. Or, at the time when you're 12 years old, 85 pounds, you reach 5'7", everyone says, oh, you need to become a supermodel and all this stuff. But my dad was like, heck no, you're going to use that old brain of yours, Jen. And yeah, so yeah, I was considered tall when I reached my adult height, but I don't know if 5'7's tall anymore.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think that's it's a good insight. So Ryan, how about you? What's your idea of a good time?
Not high heels either. Never really made it into that.
Aw.
Come on, Ryan.
And
You can
joins the
get
tall
high heel
in the
hiking
room,
boots now.
at
Come on.
least to go with the beard, I'm 6'4", so
Wow.
Oh, wow.
um me. Right now I'm just being a dad. That's my outside of talking about, all this wonderful stuff and alternative investments. I'm a football coach. I mean, that goes with it too. Um, what else? I coach and play baseball for adults. It's, just as whiny as kids. And right now I'm a cheer dad and a wrestling dad, so I get to show up to everything and watch and then complain when the coaches do bad, just like everyone does to me when I'm playing.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So Joe, you looked like you were about to say something. Of course, we're playing poker because I wanted to get you out there a little bit more, sharing your personality. But
My lack of personality, according to my internal team.
well, one particular member of your team, but yeah.
So what I was going to say was, Jen, have you hiked the slot canyons in southern Utah, northern Arizona?
Not the slot canyons in that area, but I have done Zion because Zion is this amazing. I mean, Zion's crowded, but it's beautiful, and its beauty is kind of unparalleled to me for that region. And like the deer are so used to people, you can pet them. Like imagine deer just come up to you and you can pet them, and there's these amazing streams. So that part's beautiful, but I actually have not heard of what you're talking about, Joe. So I'll have to Google that. You call it Slot Canyon?
And it's not too far from Zion.
Okay.
If you look up Kanab,
Yeah, I know the
Kanab,
town. I know the town.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you look up Kanab, Utah, within 30 miles of Kanab, 40 miles of Kanab, they have slot canyons. Take the warnings real if it's in monsoon season for
Sure.
for weather and such, but I don't know, except for the Tetons, I don't know that there's anything more beautiful.
The Tetons, I felt like I was in the presence of God. It was that beautiful, So I agree with you there. Yeah.
Well, that and Lake Tahoe, I think, are my two
Tahoe.
favorite places inside the continental United States. But for someone who is a hiker, there's a couple of loop hikes, maybe as much as 13 to 28 miles, that you can stay all night, take a pack, take a
Nice.
take a tent. And these slot canyons, you can walk in the bottom of them, and you can literally look up 200 feet, and there's a foot space that you're walking in. I mean, these are slot canyons, and then they open up. It's just a really beautiful part of the country for a hiker. So that would be my thing. And then my favorite things, I mean, because of my age, like Ryan's age in terms of having young kids, because of my age and my family and grandkids living around me, family is the biggest thing for me. And I've accumulated friends in in my age, and I play a lot of games. My kids and I play. My kids and my wife and I play cards, not necessarily poker, but other more calm games. And my favorite hobby's poker, so that's why we're here.
I love it. I love it. Now, I guess the other thing that you could do here is give some analysis here as far as Ryan and Sam goes. Oh, it looks like we lost Jen there. But so what have you been observing as far as how Ryan and Sam are playing here? Like, why are they still sitting at the table after we've already gone bust there, Joe?
Well, they both played pretty nitty, which you almost have to do. You don't do any bluffing and you don't do any pushing. But I also haven't been watching the last little while heads up to see if one's more pushy than the other. That would be the thing about see if four wins that.
Yeah.
See, the heads up's a whole different kind of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
makes sense.
from my position in the second, when I'm heads up, I do play a lot more pots. Like
Yeah.
it's rare for me to fold, but as long as Sam keeps limping in, I'll keep playing.
Yeah,
You
I've just
raise
been.
me, I might fold a little more, but
Well, and that's a tell on Ryan's history going back to the heydays. I mean, in the heydays they did a lot of hunt and peck, but but today the players you have to stay aggressive when you're playing heads up to a degree. You kind of protect your stack and stay aggressive. So he's taken Ryan's lead, like he said. He let you see inside his style.
That's funny.
you
That's funny.
gotta teach the game as much as you take from it, and
So
it's
one of the things we learned, Dan, today in terms of just our podcast and trying to do it is that 6 minute blind level. Still, what are we at here on the blinds?
Yeah,
Are we at
1,000,
1, 2,
2,000.
1, 2, 1,000,
Yeah.
2,000? Yeah, so it'll keep it within an hour, probably even with more than five of us.
Yeah, I agree. And so Jen dropped off for a second, and now she's back. So that's great. And just so you know what was going on when you came in, I had Joe analyze what Ryan and Sam have been doing, which is very successful, quite clearly. But we were also talking before about what else we do for fun, and the pithy one-liner I have for that is I came to a realization about I think it was around a year ago, maybe a little more than a year ago, that I personally get involved in real estate so that I can do podcasting, whereas a lot of people will do podcasting so they can do real estate, and that's why I'm always excited to be doing stuff like this, and I'm not convinced that really gives anybody a real opportunity to comment, but what can you do?
Well, we'll distract Ryan a little bit. Ryan, what other kind of alts do you do? Do you do the cryptos? And when you say
Yep.
alts,
Oh no, definitely. I've done so my career started in fund administration. So my first focus and love was hedge funds, went into PE, went into real estate, jumped around. I worked for some of the bigger firms. I worked for Citigroup, I worked for Morgan Stanley,
in their alt departments.
in their fund administration department. So we
Oh, okay.
had books and records of all these companies. And yeah, train of thought while I'm doing this.
Right.
So I worked for 12 years for them, jumped around to a few other smaller shops, went into crypto for about a year and a half. And right now, on top of, I mean, if you have the ace, you can have it, but
Ball 6-9-5-8.
but as of right now, with my
All in, why not?
I gotta
Yeah.
pay it off. I had the two.
Yep, you did.
So I had one out with the other two, but where was I? I did crypto for a while. I went into real estate full time, and then created Cardinal Financial Consulting, which helps launch funds with emerging managers. So it's all the financing.
Cool.
It it's it's something that was needed. Something needs to be shared.
Okay, so Ryan, with that kind of background, then I think the simplest way of asking the question is bigger better. I've got a pretty good idea. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like say, but then can you go into a little bit more detail then?
So, I mean, everyone has their own limit, and one of the first questions I ask when I sit down with an emerging manager is, "What can you handle?" And when someone comes to me and says, "I can handle any amount," I know they're lying. I can tell you funds that came in with $200 million, hit $1 billion, and they lost 30% of it. Um, on the other side, I've seen funds get $1 billion and succeed. But there's certain niche funds that can be in the 10 to $12 million range and return plenty for their clients. And it's across all asset classes too.
Does that have more to do with the business plan or the operators themselves
Both, but
or
mainly it's
the
mainly it's
market?
the operators. It's not a money amount, it's not anything else, but it's definitely the operators, because people end up getting the yips. When you get a certain amount of money and you get a certain amount of anything, it kind of gets into your system.
So you said Yates, like YETZ, or
Yeah. YIPS, like they
oh, the yips.
yeah.
So I'm raising $300 million. This is my first fund. The reason we're going so big is because we went out with a $30 million fund and everybody told us it was too small.
Hmm.
And so over and over and over, we were told too small, too small, too small. And the people who knew me, who had lots of money, they said, Sam, you're trying to do this and you're coming out with this little fund. They don't jive. And you've done 27 deals in the past. You know how to operate. You know how to handle people's money. You raised $1 billion before for a public thing, but now you're in the private sector and
Mhm.
you need to do this. So just, do the thing that you need to do. So we raised it to a $300 million fund, and all of a sudden the conversations all changed. We secured $18 million in soft commits already over the past 2 weeks, and we're going to institutions and others. But again, we're an emerging manager. And the question is, how much can we handle? And honestly, I think it'll take us 2 to 3 years to deploy all that capital.
Mhm.
We worked with institutions before. We know how to operate. We know how to scale. But I'm also building a whole lot of checks and balances in the system. We hired a lot of people from the institutional world who bring the
Yep.
institutional experience. And yeah, and I just
Yeah,
lost a
it's
big
it's
hand.
always going to be a difficult pull no matter what. I mean, raising capital is not easy at any level. And
But I will tell you that if you're disjointed on who you're trying to be, then it's not going to work one way or the other.
yep.
Or if you're just solely cash, cash, cash focus, you can run like what a lot of people did was they went on this acquisition craze and they just bought everything they could, and that's how they blew out all their investors' capital because they were buying top dollar for stuff. So our fund is opportunistic. We're buying stuff out of auctions, we're buying stuff in default, we're buying it out of litigation where we can get it for 50 cents on the dollar is one. And then the other side is multifamily. And the other side is where cities have partnered with us and they've given us $5-10 million in grants, plus a tax abatement, plus 100%, um, where they leased 100% of our units before we even struck ground. So we know we have guaranteed rents, we know we have tax abatements, and we know we have um, grants. And so I'm because I recognize we're emerging. We want to be as thinking secure and have as much wiggle room as possible to make mistakes. But fortunately, we've already done 27 apartment complexes, mobile home parks. Like we've done a bunch.
Yeah, the track record's big, and if you have that, you're a step ahead of a lot of people. I mean, for being your first fund, and that's always been the joke, right? You're an emerging manager with 27 property or 27 deals under your belt. How does that exactly happen?
I love it. I love it. And it brings into the next question, which I'm actually going to pick on Jen a little bit here for this, since you're on the bench like me and Joe, and that's because you seem like you're unable to grow facial hair. And if I'm going to be sexist,
More than
I've heard
usual, but less, less than you guys.
yeah, right. So as far as the ladies that have been in my life, I've had plenty of them say that women are better at multitasking. I remember meeting one health professional who said that men can't multitask, or it's actually unhealthy for them to do so. Some people say it's just plain impossible to multitask. Jen, what are your thoughts on multitasking? And feel free to sprinkle it with a little bit of sexism, like I just did.
I think multitasking is something any human does out of necessity, but I think that we all do better with focused work, period. It's one reason why I started working from home 15 years ago, was because I could focus, not because I was lazy, but because quite the opposite. I didn't want to deal with people stopping by my desk, or dealing with, what does my outfit look like? Or did I grease the right palm that day? That really isn't going to make me the profit that I want and need anyways in life if I come home and leverage my skill set, as you said, over the internet. So yeah, even though I prefer to be in nature, I need a Wi-Fi signal. So my car has its own Wi-Fi router. I have a big nice minivan or whatever for the kids. And so it is with being focused and in prayerful solitude, and leveraging that through social media, LinkedIn, your phone, whatever it is, that I think allows us to do quite well in life. So I don't think anyone does well multitasking. I think we do it when we have to. Now, Ryan, he has a lot of young children. I was a housewife before I started my own businesses. So, I remember cooking with a toddler on the hip, and, stirring the hot soup, and taking a phone call from an in-law. And let me tell you something, man. I've run multiple businesses and I've been a housewife, and being a housewife is infinitely more hard and more thankless. So anyways, I don't think anyone does well multitasking, and I think focus is your superpower, period, no matter who you are.
Yep, I love that. Yep, go ahead, Joe.
Ryan and Sam, we didn't think anyone would get here, so we didn't make it go 2,000, 4,000 in order for the game to end, since the two of you are so pedantic on pounding on each other. You got a minute, you got to move to 2,000, 4,000, and we can't make the thing do it. So that's there. Ryan just did it. You have to automatically raise to 4,000. Come on in, Chase. You got to raise to 4,000 if you're on the button, so we can get to the end of this.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I saw something else where it was I can pause the game and try and do it that way. But Joe, if you need to drop out as well, that's perfectly fine. We appreciate you joining in here and all that kind of fun stuff. And I know that your opinion on multitasking, it matches Jen's quite closely.
Oh, completely.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that the only thing I had to add is just I've become a huge fan of the term primary caregiver, and I know it's strange for a dude with a beard to be throwing out like a term that is about like equality in terms and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've been a primary caregiver, and I absolutely am on board. It doesn't matter, man or woman. It is a brutal thing to have to do. It's never going to be perfect. There's always something more to do, and like as far as like, but I just need my 30 minutes to have a little bit of a break or whatever it is. It's like, yeah, that's not in the cards. It's just not a real thing. You just never know when lightning will strike, and so I think it's so important for everybody to be supportive in that regard. But there we go. If I hit back here, it's
all Russian, because I just want a stupid hand that I'm sure Ryan would have folded on.
No, I would. I'll even give it to you right now. I'm on 6-3 offsuit. We're getting closer to the end. I think.
Yeah, here we go. All in.
And watch me win this.
All right, let's see what happens. You didn't get the 3 or the 6.
This was
I love the drama that they put into this. They really weighed on that last card.
Neither one of us had anything.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, but you had the kicker. All right, that was awesome. Thanks everybody for joining. We got all the information. Please do hit the subscribe button so those cheapskates at YouTube who never pay for any of this stuff actually start paying for these videos instead of guys like me and Joe. But thanks again everybody for joining. This has been absolutely fantastic, and I look forward to the next round.
It's really great.
Thanks,
Yep.
guys.
Thanks, guys. Nice meeting y'all.
Nice to meet you all. Thank you. It's fun.
Okay, bye-bye. Does nothing but put more money in the pot.
Right.
If we talk about just the investor side, I mean, Shane talked about the sponsor side a little bit. I'll talk about the investor side. Okay, so you want the most money in terms of return with the least risk. All right, you want to do it yourself, you can go get 13 or 14%. You're going to do all the underwriting, it's not going to be passive.
If you bet, probably not.
I think I'd have to bet at least 2,500 before they fold.
And the pot is
4,000.
4,000. Yeah, I think you're right, but I'd rather just check.
Okay.
First position, you have the right of collection and the right of foreclosure or sheriff's sale, well, wherever you're at.